Good rising, brethren. This is Big Judah coming to you guys from California. Before I begin, give all praises to the Most High Yahweh. Acknowledgement to the earthly mother. Who is wisdom? Who is Holy Spirit? Acknowledgement to Yahweh Shai. I pray the Most High blesses this lesson this evening, gives more knowledge and understanding of the events of the past, in order to understand events that are currently happening on the earth, so we get a much better understanding of the things that are soon to come on the earth. Brethren, as we see the nations moving, you see them accelerating their timeline, accelerating, their moves right now. Sitting here listening to how they're forcing and moving people to take the cure or lose your job. Take the cure or you can't participate in going to the gym. You can't go to the movies. You can't go into the restaurants. And you can't go to online campuses for college and things like that. And if you want to participate in these kinds of things, you need to take the cure. See, the Most High, when I get up in the middle of the night, 3:47, 3:48, and we're praying, I'm always asking the Father to please give me the words and give me the direction that you want me to share. And last night, the Most High was heavy, giving me some thoughts, giving me some understanding. And then Sister Lisa Cabrera did a video about back to virtual learning. And she said something that confirmed what the Most High had given me last night. She was talking about how the Most High went after the firstborn of the Pharaoh. That was something that the Most High had given me, and he used Sister Lisa Cabrera to confirm it to me this morning. He also was talking to me about assuming your positions. The Most High has raised his people up. He's raised up certain people to be in positions of authority, and that it's time for them to assume the positions the Most High has given them. It's time for me to assume the position that the Most High has given me, even though maybe sometimes I've been reluctant. But the Most High has given me certain responsibilities. He's moving me to be more responsible and to take those responsibilities. I'm sure many of you have gotten those same kinds of thoughts of having certain kinds of responsibilities, and it's time to assume those roles. Well, then I was listening to Brother Elder Ayal this morning. He was talking about the priests, assuming their positions. People need to listen to the priests, listen to the people that have been raised up into certain positions. And time for our nation to get ready to fall in line with the will of the Most High. And that, to me, was just more confirmation of the things the Most High was showing me, and something that the Most High had Elder Ayal say, which is so true. Many of us are saying the same things. We might be saying them a different way, but the source is always the same. The source for us is the Most High and the Holy Spirit. And I don't even question it anymore. I know that thought that's in my head is the Most High. Before, I used to always kind of think and maybe second guess myself. But I know that those thoughts that I get, those voices that I hear, that feels like someone touches you on the back of your neck and makes your hair stand up on your arms. And that's the Holy Spirit. You know that she's here talking, communicating, giving us direction. So I'm going to speak on it right now of what's going on with these other nations and what the Most High is showing me. See, they're accelerating their moves because they know that their time is getting shorter and shorter. As we are intensifying our prayers, their time and power is getting shorter and shorter. As we intensify our prayers, and our prayers are going to the Most High at a more rapid pace, their stranglehold is being shown to be getting weaker and weaker. And then you're seeing these moves of desperation. Like, as you see, the Most High is the one who's increased this plague. He's the one that has turned the plague the last few weeks upon the children. Last year, the plague didn't affect the children as much. But do you think it's a coincidence that right now the plague is hitting children more and more? I don't know if it was 90 plus thousand cases maybe in the last week or so. Now, any sane person would see these numbers and maybe actually have some pause about reopening schools, and then they keep saying that this is a plague of the uncured. Well, if that's the case, then why would you send millions of your children to schools when they have not been able to receive the cure? But you see, this is a biblical and a spiritual confrontation. The Most High is telling you, let my people go. See, he started the separation last year in March when he shut down the economy. He separated his people. No more does he want you teaching his people your lies. No more does he want us mingling, with your people, and, us being influenced by, your thoughts. And last year, the plague was going on, but there was a separation. So the plague was not as intense. But see, this year, you have made moves to try to get rid of the separation. You thought you had a cure that now makes that separation moot. And now you can have us all come back together. So do you think that it's any coincidence that after the 4th of July and Biden, the Pharaoh, made that declaration about how they pretty much defeated the plague, and that it's time for America to come together as one once again? Do you think that it was a coincidence all of a sudden right after that, this variant of a plague has now swept the land? And you see, if you look at the maps, my sister Lisa Guerrero was talking about how red the maps are. Do you think this is any coincidence? See, the Most High is in charge of even your actions, because no sane person would be looking at these numbers and looking at how this new plague is attacking the children. No sane person would say, you know what, seems like a really good idea. Let's open up the schools and let's let all these kids go back to school. No sane person would do that. But see, the Most High has put a thought in their mind that, hey, this sounds like a good idea. Let's try to, not let his people go. This is all about separation. This is all about separating the Most High's people from the other nations. As long as we were separated, the Most High's will is being done. But as soon as you guys try to bring that, close that separation and bring us back together and try to, impose your influence on the people, that's when you see the Most High moving. And like when Sister Lisa Cabrera was talking about, the Most High going after their kids, that's exactly what you're seeing. You're seeing the Most High, have them make moves that are going to be detrimental to their children. All because they refused to separate. The Most High has been telling me, let my people go. Their time of being in the curses is over. Let my people go. Don't try to keep influencing them. Don't try to keep them, under your thumb anymore. Because every time you do that, our Father is now going to move against you. They understand that their time is very short. They understand that their influence is waning. So therefore, now they're moving, with breakneck speed to try to push their cure as much as possible. But it is going to backfire on them, just like everything else, because they're not in the time of their blessings anymore. Everything that they do will backfire. Nothing that they plan will work. You hear people talking about, oh, they're setting up FEMA camps, they're setting up this, they're setting up that. You think the Most High is going to allow these Gentiles to move on us anymore? You think the Most High is going to allow them to destroy us once again? That would make the Most High's word null and void. They had their opportunity to do that. They've already done that. This is not about the Gentiles always being in charge. See, their whole dogma is about them. They're always in charge. They're always the ones that are making moves, right? That's why, you believe things like, oh, they're setting up FEMA camps because you think the Gentiles are always in charge. Oh, they're going to, set up the whole system, the whole mark of the beast. Oh, why do you think that? Oh, because you think Gentiles are always going to be in charge. Oh, they're going to reduce the population down to 500 million and the elites are going to be in charge. Why do you believe that? Because you believe that Gentiles are always going to be in charge. That shows your lack of faith in the Most High. Most High said that they get their 400 years after we've served our punishment. Most High is going to turn his wrath on them. And that's what you're seeing right now. The wrath is turned on them. Listen to the news reports where they keep saying, oh, we're going to, if you don't take our cure, we're going to make medical people, nurses, quit their jobs. All the while, there was already a shortage of health professionals. Oh, teachers, if you don't take it, we're gonna make you quit your jobs. Oh, okay. Well, there's already a shortage of teachers. Oh, we're gonna make the military, go ahead and take it. Well, if you do that, you'll see how that might backfire on you as well. Because everything that they do now backfires. Because this is a spiritual confrontation between our power and the nations down here. They're not fighting with us. They're fighting with our power. And our power has said, enough is enough. Separate. My people are holy. I want them separated. You guys are like, no, 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 no. We're going to open up the schools and we're all going to come back together. And things are just going to be working. They're going to work out swimmingly. How? In what world does that make any sense? The Most High has now shown you that the plague is attacking your children. And now you're going to sacrifice your children and put them out there for the Most High to destroy. That's exactly what they did when, at the end of for the last plague, the Most High had the Pharaoh say exactly what it was that he was going to do. The Pharaoh was the one that said he was going to destroy the firstborn of Egypt. He was the one, and that's what ended up happening. Well, he was going to destroy the firstborn of the Israelites, but the Most High switched that up and killed the firstborn of the Egyptians. But look now, they see that there is a plague that is now attacking their kids. And now they're willing to sacrifice their own kids in order to keep us, joined with them. They're willing to sacrifice their own children in order to not let the Most High's people go, because that's what you're looking at. They know that once they allow these kids to go back, that all hell is going to break loose, because this new plague is more contagious than anything they've seen before. Things right now are worse than they were last year. How is that possible? Last year at this time, there was no cure, but we were separated. Now, this year, supposedly they have the cure, but things are worse now than they were last year. They haven't gone back to square one. They've gone back to square -20. And we're still in the summer. Haven't even hit the fall or the winter yet. This time last year, the vast majority of the country was not trying to open up, was not trying to force the Most High's people, back. They were still letting the Most High's people go so that we could study, so that we could follow the ways of the Most High without the interruptions and the input of the Gentiles. Now you can tell the desperation, because they see us pulling further and further away from them. They see that their influence on us is getting less and less and less, and now they're desperate. Most High has been telling them to let his people go, and we've been growing like crazy. They see that. So now you see the desperation. They're like, oh no, we can't let them go. We can't let them go. Because if we let them go, we're never going to get them back. Newsflash, you're never going to get us back, because our punishment is over. And your punishment is just beginning. And as you can see, you're willing to sacrifice your own children in order to keep us next to you, in order to keep us dependent upon you, in order to keep us, intertwined with you. And that is not going to work. So the Most High is going to move. How long do you think that you're going to be able to have these kids out in this environment with this plague that is now sweeping the country? So it's just showing you how it's a spiritual battle. The Most High is telling you to let his people go. You're refusing to do that because you see your influence getting less and less. You still have the influence on the 2/3. You still have the 2/3 that are with you. But you see us, the enlightened ones, you see how much we're growing. You see how we're not dependent upon you. You see how we're not checking for you. We're not trying to get your approval. We're not trying to bring you along on this journey, because this is a journey set aside for the Most High's chosen people and the Gentiles that have been awakened by the Most High in order to cleave to the Most High's chosen people. We aren't the get along game that's trying to force people to follow us or to get in with us, because we know that we can't do that. We don't have that kind of power. Either the Most High has called you, or he hasn't. It's plain and simple. And the other nations are now willing to sacrifice their own children to at least keep us dependent upon them. And I'm sure the Most High will take that sacrifice, no problem. They must see something coming that they just don't care anymore. These other nations just don't care anymore. They must see something, and something's making them so desperate that they're willing to sacrifice their own children, sacrifice their own future, unless they realize that they don't have a future anymore. So this is the time. This is a very pivotal time. They're making these moves, and I'm sure it's very irritating to many of us to sit here and have to hear they're going to do this, they're going to do that. They got these plans, they got those plans. You know what? I'm going to concentrate on the plans of my Father. I'm going to concentrate on his plans, because you know what? His plans are the only ones that matter. Their plans mean nothing. So long as we are cleaving on to our Father, I know that He's got our back and He's going to protect us. And they know there's a reason why, they're walking on eggshells right now. They're walking on eggshells when it pertains to our people, because they know that our Father is with us, and they know that they just can't do whatever it is they want like they've been able to for such a long time. Those kinds of moves they did before will come with deadly consequences for them now, because our Father has turned His face back to us. Other nations definitely, in history, treaded lightly, when they dealt with us, when they knew that our Father was with us. You see the same thing happening right now. So your other nations, make sure that you really think about what you're doing. Really think about, are you willing to sacrifice your kids in order to keep the Most High's chosen people next to you? Keep trying to influence them when the Most High has told you to separate and to stay away from us. And let us worship our Father in peace. Worship our Father and follow His commandments in peace. That's all that we've been wanting to do. And you guys trying to keep push your influence, and that's not what the Most High wants. So the Most High is going to definitely, protect His people, and He's going to get that separation. Either He's going to get it either way, the way He wants it, because His will shall be done. All praise is to the Most High Yahweh. Acknowledgement to the earthly mother. Who is wisdom? Who is the Holy Spirit? Acknowledge Yahweh. Shalom.